Alright guys, welcome to another beer review. You join me on a Friday evening. It's getting a tiny bit colder. Just about to warm myself up some homemade pumpkin soup, and I thought to accompany that I'd have something that's equally, if not more, warming and comforting. So this is another beer review of one of the beers Dean kindly sent over to me from Dean's Beer Reviews. All of his links are down below. Fantastic guy, both in terms of his reviews, and his taste in beer, but also more importantly, just a proper decent guy. And yeah, I look forward to repaying the favour, getting you some good German craft beers, Dean, and of course, more importantly, hopefully next year we can do a little bottle share or meet up with some of the other guys. So yeah, fantastic stuff. So today we've got a can of the Parabellum Milk Stout, which is coming from the Gun Brewery, and I love their logo. I think is the symbol that, I'm not sure which part of the world they would use it, but it was to symbolise that someone owned a gun. So it's like sort of a warning thing, maybe. I'm not too sure, but I do like the look of it. And yeah, this is a milk stout clocking in at 4.1%. Lovely looking can. So it's got some writing on the back, which I will read out for you guys. So, dark and delicious, a rich jet black stout made with a combination of barley, oats, wheat and roasted chocolate malts. The result is a satisfying balance of coffee and chocolate notes and a full malt base with vanilla notes, one to be savoured. Unfined, unfiltered and naturally hazy, store upright, serve cool and pour gently. Then it goes into a bit of the ingredients. Made with Sussex spring water, so these guys are from East Sussex, and the barley, oats, wheat, hops, yeast and lactose sugar, brewed and bottled, even though it's canned, although I think you can get bottles of this, by Gun Brewery, Gun Hill, East Sussex. A hobo was simply a migratory labourer. He may have taken some longish holidays, but sooner or later he returned to work. His life was a dangerous one. To help cope with uncertainties, hobos developed a system of symbols which they would chalk on walls to provide directions, information and warnings to others. The symbol in our logo means "Man with gun lives here." But fear not, our beer won't force you to raise your hands any higher than your lips. So yeah, best before date is the 18th of January 2018. So I know I went into tasting notes there, which is frowned upon by most people, but I do like to sometimes just read the tasting notes and then sometimes go into it blind. But I have already seen, I think it was last year, Dean reviewing this beer review, and I think that's what stemmed him sending me this, because the way he described it was just absolutely spectacular, and I do love these like smooth, indulgent stouts. And at 4.1%, it's going to be amazing to see just how heavy and robust that body is. So without any further ado, let's get this can opened and see what we get. It's a bit of a gusher, ladies and gentlemen. Probably should have left it a few more days before opening it, but it has been settled in the cupboard under the sink. So it's not really, yeah, it's gone everywhere, Peter. It's not really been shaken up, but oh well. We'll see what we get. I can mop that up later. And yeah, look at that. Absolutely beautiful, yet frustrating at the same time, because that head looks absolutely divine. But beer in a glass, and I'm not sure if that's jet black, because I think I am seeing some really dark, intense, woody, oaky tones coming through from the edges of the glass, but it is a very dense and opaque looking beer. And beer poured with about 3 fingers worth of a really nice sort of like khaki tan coloured head. Lots of compact bubbles in there with some bigger bubbles in between. And yeah, it just looks absolutely fantastic, doesn't it, even though it poured absolutely ridiculously. So hopefully there's not any problems with the conditioning, more just because it's travelled from England to Germany, but we shall see. And I look very small the way I've positioned my camera right now. Not that it really matters, so let's just put that there so you can see the can. Lovely, lovely looking beer, both in terms of the presentation and the beer in the glass. So yeah, nice lacing there. I always love doing that, just love seeing just like the smoothness of the movements. So yeah, let's quit romanticising the beer and get it smelt. So, well, that's a big roasty, toasty hint straight away. Has a slight cola syrupy sweetness to it as well. But then you get that lactose in there and it mixes with this lovely chocolatey character. So it's almost like smelling like melted milk chocolate. Little slight hoppy notes, very earthy hoppy notes. Lovely gentle milk coffee sort of aroma coming through as well. And as the beer's settling, a very slight smoky tone is coming through also, which is just really nice. It's everything's just complementing each other. There's no one aroma like fighting for your attention. And then you get some very subtle, almost like berry-like sweetness, some very subtle like bush fruit notes, if that makes any sense. I can never remember the proper term for those sorts, like berries and stuff that you pick from trees and bushes. Hedgerow fruits, there we go. But yeah, that milk chocolatey aroma is just absolutely to die for. It really, really is. So subtle and smooth. There's no harshness in any way, shape or form. Yeah, let's get tucked into this one. That had subsided very quickly, so yeah. Cheers, guys. Cheers, Dean. Apologies that it spilt on the table a little bit, my friend. And that is what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting it to be a heavy mouthfeel, because it's a 4.1% beer. But it's heavier than what you would expect from a 4.1% stout. But then again, it's nowhere near a dry stout, which is very crisp and not really thin, but you know what I mean. But that lactose, that combination of the oats as well, just adds a lovely velvety smoothness to it. Not as chocolatey as I was getting on the nose. I tend to get more of the like the dark berry fruits a little bit more. But that's offset with a lovely roasted coffee tone. It's almost like you've put a little bit of something like a blueberry syrup in a coffee. I don't know how common that is, but that's the sort of character I'm getting. So goddamn drinkable as well. It really, really is. Let's open the can a little bit more properly and see if we can get more in without it going everywhere. Of course, I will give it a little shake and pour the rest in, but that's pouring absolutely wonderfully. We'll leave it for now. Yeah, I don't know if that is... The light in here is really not beneficial for a beer like this, because it could be jet black, but I'm just seeing a lot of intense brown tones. That bitterness you get when you've got that head mixed in with that beer gives it another level, although I preferred it when I was first drinking it, but that's, you know, that's just the way you pour a beer. It's got nothing to do with the beer itself, and it's not like it's an unpleasant flavour. It tastes a little bit more hoppy, that I've got that head mixing in with the beer. Carbonation slightly more prickly, a bit more of a smoky roastedness coming through now as well. And a very slight tartness, like berry-like tartness coming through. Yeah, it's one of those wonderful things, like the way you pour this beer and the way you... I would not chill a beer like this down. No way, not at all. You will lose so much character. But if you're a little bit more aggressive, you might get more of that like active yeast in there. If you're a little bit more gentle, you get a little bit more of a smoother experience, and these very subtle roasty tones and coffee tones come through. But then they're amplified slightly with the way I poured that beer in there. It's so amazing how something like a beer can change in so many ways, and you don't have to do anything drastic to create those changes. Lovely earthy woodiness in there as well. The chocolatey tone is a bit more of a bitter chocolate as opposed to a milk chocolate like the nose was suggesting. But yeah, it's one of those beers where you could just drink a load of this. There's nothing in there that's going to be really too sickly. Might get a little bit too roasty after a while, but that's about it really. I mean, it's not as like luxurious or robust as I was expecting it to be after getting that nose, but it does have a level of complexity to it. But at the same time, it's a really accessible beer for someone getting into these sorts of beers. And now that it's all in a glass, it's almost changed again. A little bit more earthy, but then you get this slight tartness from the fruit characters. Very subtle chocolatey coffee, like ginger biscuits almost, like a really dark dense sponge as well. But yeah, this is a lovely little beer, and you can see already, even though I lost a little bit of it onto the table, it's so damn drinkable. And I can't really fault it too much. %4.1%. The body they've got on this and the mouthfeel in general is fantastic. And yeah, just, I don't know, maybe a little bit more chocolatey, a little bit more desserty, like cakey. But those fruity tones I am really enjoying, and that bitterness now is really, really nice. Like a very slight hoppy, almost resiny bitterness. Tell you one thing, this is far from a simple or dull beer. I could see people drinking this and falling absolutely head over heels with it. For me personally, I think it's a damn solid beer. So in terms of a rating, on the Parabellum Milk Stout from Gun Brewery, I'm going to give this one a very solid 8 out of 10. I'm just amazed at what they can achieve at such a low ABV with a style like this one. So yeah, of course I will put Dean's link down below to his review. If you've tried this one or any other beers from the Gun Brewery, let me know your thoughts, opinions. If anybody else has reviewed this beer, of course their links will be provided. Go check out Dean, his channel, his Twitter and his Instagram. Information is down below. Go give him a like, follow and subscribe. And yeah, check out Gun Brewery. Check out my Stout playlist for more examples of the style. And more importantly, I hope you'll join me next time for another beer review. So apologies it's been another long one, but yeah, I like making the effort, and if the beer's worth talking about, then I don't care if I go on for 15 minutes. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and let me know what you were drinking. If you were drinking anything at all while I can't even formulate proper sentences. Just let me know what you were drinking while you were watching this one. Could have just said it like that, couldn't I? Thank you guys for watching. Cheers, Dean. Cheers to everyone else. And until the next time, see you all later. Stay safe and